Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to welcome each and every one of you to the ribbon cutting and the opening of the East River Development Alliance Federal Credit Union. It is a historic day, not only because this is the first credit union to open in New York in 10 years, the first to be chartered in Queens in 30 years, and the first to be chartered under the Obama administration. It's not only historic because of that, it's not only a landmark because of that, it's a landmark because today we celebrate residents of Queensbridge, Ravenswood, Astoria, and Woodside houses who came together to create an economic anchor for our neighborhood. Today, there are many people in public housing that live paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet. There are people that don't have emergency savings and people that are trying to figure out how they're going to decide whether to pay for the medicine or the food on their table. Creating this financial cooperative gives us an opportunity to create an anchor in our community that will build resident wealth and build wealth for people that live in public housing neighborhoods. I believe that this is not only an anchor, but it is also an opportunity to give people financial freedom so that people can realize their dreams and move to the next economic level. And the reality is this, there's many things that we can say about this financial cooperative, but one thing we have to remember, this was organized and created and developed from the ground up by the residents of these four communities that made a decision to take responsibility for their economic future. And I want to let you know the difference between a bank and a credit union is a bank, when you put your money in the bank, you rent the space. When you put your money in the credit union, you own the space. And so now we have created thousands of bankers right here in Northwestern Queens. Let's give all these new bankers a big hand. And of course, the rain is here, but guess what? It's raining on the outside, but in my soul, it's raining on the inside. And I believe that it's raining in the hearts and souls of every person that made this credit union possible on today. Again, 5.5 years ago, we conceptualized this idea of not only giving people employment services, not only giving people educational financial literacy service, but we had to add that last piece, empowerment, empowering people to take control of their lives and build a sustainable economic future. That's what this is all about. And so there's a lot of people to thank on today, and we have a lot of distinguished guests. I am honored, and we should all be honored today to have with us the greatest mayor that New York has ever seen, Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Let's thank God for him for being with us on today. Before I move to the dignitaries and those that are here joining with us to celebrate, I want to recognize the people on the ground, because without the people on the ground, none of this would have been possible. So I want, as I mention your group, I want you to stand up. I want all of the members from the organizing committee, if you're seated or if you're standing around, wave your hand, stand up, make some noise. All the members from the Credit Union Organizing Committee, all around, keep standing. The ERDA Clergy Coalition, those clergy that are here with us on today, please stand. The ERDA Tenants Association collaboration, all the TA presidents from Queensbridge, Ravenswood, Astoria, and Woodside. The ERDA Federal Credit Union Board of Directors, please stand. The ERDA Board proper, please stand. All the ERDA staff, wherever you are, make some noise. Our Vice President Jeremy Reese and Barbara Zerzan, and all of our partners on the ground, those that have already pledged, the 1,000 people that have already pledged to open accounts. Come on, you make some noise and stand wherever you are today. And so I want to thank you I want to thank you because really you made this possible. And without you, this would have never came to fruition. And so I'm grateful today to be joined by so many distinguished individuals that are here on today. And I know that we have a program to follow, but I want to be respectful of the mayor who is trying to also honor others in other parts of the city that are doing great work just like us. And so we want to get him up as soon as possible so that he can speak. And I don't want you to feel bad if he has to blow out of here to go to 4 or 5 other events, because we understand his schedule. He's doing the work. He's not just talking about the work, he's doing the work. And we want to acknowledge that, as well as our other dignitaries that are here on today. Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, without which we would have never gotten to this place. Speaker Christine Quinn, Speaker of the City Council. John Rhea, the Chairman of the Housing Authority, who you're going to be hearing from in a few moments. And all of our elected officials, Jimmy Van Bramer, who represents this area in the City Council. Assemblymember Kathy Nolan. City Council Member Peter Vallone Jr. Majority Whip Leroy Comrie for the City Council. Commissioner Mintz. Speaker Emeritus, Speaker Vallone Sr. Commissioner Lopez, Rob Walsh, Dr. Brian Mosley, Bill Taylor, Cliff Rosenthal, Annie Cotton Mars. I mean, so many people are here, Miss Claudia Koger, and then everyone else that is on. You know, when you start mentioning names, you forget it, but I can't forget one person who 8 years ago became a member of the City Council and was very excited about all that we were doing here at the East River Development Alliance. I want to just acknowledge Council Member Eric Joya, who is in the audience. Thank you so much, Councilman. At this time, I'd like to step out the way at this point, and I want to introduce to you one of the most charismatic chairmen and leaders that I have ever met. And I tell you, public housing is probably the size of most small cities or large cities around the country. And when you chair an authority like the New York City Public Housing Development, you have to be prepared and you have to be equipped. There's 500,000 people that live in public housing in New York City. And the mayor assured me several months before John came on board that we were going to be pleasantly surprised and really grateful for this person that he was thinking about. And I'm so grateful, I'm so glad that we've been able to work with him and share our vision for replicating this model in public housing neighborhoods across the city, along with this financial cooperative. And he's open to these visions and has visions of his own as well, and doing a great job. I want to introduce to some and present to others the chairman of the New York City Housing Authority, John Rhea.